You to have your attention, please. We've just got a little bit of an echo that. Okay, great. Just speak without it. So. Colleen said because just one second.
It's okay.
Okay, great. Let's start that again. Bonsoir, bienvenue. Welcome everyone to our in-person live meeting of the MRC Pontiac, and we will begin with our TNO meeting. And I'd like to say how wonderful it is to be able to meet in person and to be able to welcome the public in the same way. And of course, we also do have Facebook Live, which we will continue because it's an effective way to allow people from the Pontiac to be able to watch our meetings from their homes. I'd like to begin with a resolution, please. I need a resolution to open the meeting and take the attendance. Moved by Councillor Donnie Gagnon. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. So now we'll go through the attendance. And I'd also like to welcome former Mayor of L'Île aux Allumettes, Winston Sundstrom, who's with us tonight. I think he misses us. Welcome, Winston. And Corey Spence is actually absent and being replaced by his pro-mayor, Nancy McGuire. Okay, wonderful. So we'll go through. Please, when I call your name, excuse me, Mr. Watt, do we have anybody on Zoom tonight, or is Karen Kelly on Zoom? Okay, Mayor Karen Kelly from Thorne is on Zoom. And Douglas Russell from Rapide des Joachim. And Lynn Cameron from Portage. Okay, welcome to all of you. So we'll begin. Please say present or present when I call your name. So instead of Corey Spence, I will say Nancy McGuire. Thank you. Carl Mayer. Present. Brent Orr. Present. Alain Gagnon is absent, I believe. Maurice Beauregard. Present. Donald Gagnon. Present. Edward Walsh. Present. Christine Francoeur. Jean-Louis Corriveau. Terry Leffler. Sandra Armstrong. Lynn Cameron is on Zoom. Yep. Doug Russell. Present. Thank you, Doug. Bill McCleary. Present. Doris Ranger. Present. Colleen LaRiviere. Karen Kelly. Present. Thank you. Odette Godin. Present. Bernard Watt. Present. Annie Vinecourt. Travis Ladisser. Present. Kim Lesage is.
I'm present on Zoom, Jane.
Absent. On Zoom, pardon me. Welcome, Kim. Natasha Gwinnett. Julian Gagnon. Colleen Jones. Cindy Phillips. And Jason Durand. Thank you very much. We'll go on to number 2, just COVID-19 measures. Well, we know that things have relaxed quite a bit, even in this last month. But I would still ask for the purpose of our meeting that those here in attendance, if you do need to stand up and leave your seat, please wear your mask. And we are distanced appropriately, and we do have disinfectant, and we're still being careful following government regulations. And we are in the habit now of having Facebook Live, but we also do tape our meetings. We record them. This was required by the government through COVID, but we'll continue to do this. And through Colleen Jones, we will have this posted by tomorrow on the MRC website. Thank you. On to number 3, where I've just talked about recording, bidding, and Facebook Live. Go on to number 4, the declaration, use of language of your choice. Nous sommes élus par les gens du Pontiac pour les représenter au mieux de nos capacités. Ils s'attendent à ce que nous menions nos réunions d'une manière professionnelle. J'écouterai très attentivement. Oh, excuse me, that is the declaration of the warden, which is coming next. But I will go back to the declaration, use of the language of your choice. Excuse me. Je rappelle l'importance pour les membres du conseil régional et les autres participants à la séance de s'exprimer librement dans la langue de leur choix. Au besoin, il y aura la présence sur place d'une ressource de la MRC pour assurer une traduction. I'd like to reiterate the importance for regional council members and other participants in the sitting to express themselves freely in the language of their choice. If necessary, a resource of the MRC will be available to ensure translation. And now the declaration of decorum. We are elected by the people of the Pontiac to represent them to the best of our ability. They expect us to conduct our meetings in a professional and business-like manner. I will be listening very carefully to the debate and discussion in this meeting. And if I hear any words of negativity or criticism of anyone else, of anyone present here in the room, I will stop the meeting and ask that person to apologize. Thank you. Nous sommes élus par les gens de Pontiac pour les représenter au mieux de nos capacités. Ils s'attendent à ce que nous menions nos réunions d'une manière professionnelle. J'écouterai très attentivement les débats et les discussions de cette réunion et si j'entends des paroles négatives ou des critiques à l'égard de quelqu'un d'autre, j'arrêterai la réunion et demanderai à cette personne de s'excuser. Je vous remercie. Go on to number 6, which is the reading and adoption of the agenda. Could I have a resolution to, thank you very much, Councillor Walsh. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Number 7, are there any declarations of conflict of interest on this TNO agenda? Okay, seeing none, we will go on to number 8. We need a resolution to adopt the minutes of the last sitting in February. Could I have someone moved by Councillor Beauregard? All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Number 9, public question period. Are there any members of the audience that would like to ask a question about the TNO? And I don't believe, I'll just check with our greffier, we didn't receive any questions. Thank you very much. Go on to number 10, which were e-questions from the public. I believe no e-questions, correct? Thank you. Number 11, accounts paid. We'll need a resolution, but first we will have the report from Annie Vinecourt. Hi, Annie, go ahead.
Hi, good evening, everyone. That's loud, eh? Wow. Okay.
We can hear you.
Okay. Okay, so for the TNO, we have just one small accounts receivable from the MRC leases for $88.10. And bills paid in the last month. Hold on. So a total of $43,094.54. A bill paid to the municipality of Mansfield for $14,559.21, which was the waste management agreement with the municipality for 2020 and 2021. We also paid $350.50 to the FUM for training for one of our employees. We did a first installment to our auditors for the 2021 audit, so that was $4,024. There was shares paid to the MRC for $24,021.76, and a monthly visa for $138.95, which was gas for the vehicles.
Okay. Thank you for that report. Are there any questions of Annie Vinecourt on her report? Okay, seeing none, could I have a councillor move the resolution? Moved by Councillor Orr. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Thank you. And now, number 12, we have our Manager of Territory, Jason Durand, who has got a notice of motion and draft bylaw modification to bylaw 155-2010 TNO zoning. Go ahead, Jason.
Yes, hello, bonsoir tout le monde. Donc, as you said there, notice of motion for regarding our TNO bylaw zoning. Donc, en autre mot, un avis de motion concernant notre règlement de zonage TNO. Donc, de façon plus précise, là, c'est vraiment au niveau de deux lacs situés, là, c'est le lac Clair et le lac Brock. Ces deux lacs-là sont situés au nord là, du grand lac du Mont. Donc, puisqu'on a plus qu'un lac Clair sur notre territoire. Là. Donc, as I was saying, le but de ça, c'est pour permettre du développement de villégiature là, qui est potentiel sur ces deux lacs-là. Donc, like I said, the goal of this bylaw amendments is to have some resort lease on Lake Clear and Lake Brock. These lakes are they're located at the northern of the Lake Dumont. So that's it. So next month we will be going with the amendments for the amendment of this bylaw.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. And so no voting tonight, or you need the, no,
Exactly.
just notice of motion.
Exactly.
Are there any questions? Anyone need any further clarification from Jason? Okay, thank you very much,
All right,
Jason.
thank you,
Perfect.
everybody.
Okay, and now we will, thank you. So we do need someone to move the notice of motion. Moved by Councillor Lafleur. Thank you very much. All those in favor, opposed, and that is moved. And now I need someone to move a resolution to close the meeting, to adjourn the TNO meeting. Moved by Councillor Orr. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. And our TNO meeting is concluded. Now we will go on to our public meeting of March 16th, 2022. Could I have a resolution to open the meeting? Moved by Mayor Doris Ranger. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. We've already taken the attendance. I don't think it has changed from 10 minutes ago. We'll go to number 2, which is simply the fact that this meeting is being recorded and Facebook Live broadcasting to the people of Pontiac, and that it will be available tomorrow on our MRC website. Number 3, the use of the language of your choice. Je rappelle l'importance pour les membres du conseil régional et les autres participants à la séance de s'exprimer librement dans la langue de leur choix. Au besoin, il y aura la présence sur place d'une ressource de la MRC pour assurer une traduction. So I'd like to reiterate the importance for regional council members and other participants in the city to express themselves freely in the language of their choice. If necessary, a resource of the MRC will be available to ensure translation. Number 4, the Warden's Declaration of Decorum. Nous sommes élus par les gens de Pontiac pour les représenter au mieux de nos capacités. Ils s'attendent à ce que nous menions nos réunions d'une manière professionnelle. J'écouterai très attentivement les débats et les discussions de cette réunion, et si j'entends des paroles négatives ou des critiques à l'égard de quelqu'un d'autre, j'arrêterai la réunion et demanderai à cette personne de s'excuser. Je vous remercie. We are elected by the people of the Pontiac to represent them to the best of our ability. They expect us to conduct our meetings in a professional and business-like manner. I will be listening very carefully to the debate and discussion in this meeting, and if I hear any words of negativity or criticism of anyone else, elected or staff, I will stop the meeting and ask that person to apologize. Thank you. Go to number 5. We need to have a resolution for the reading and adoption of the agenda, moved by Mayor Christine Francoeur. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Are there any declarations of interest or conflict in this particular agenda? Okay, see none, thank you. Now we will go to presentations. And I'm very pleased to say that we have a very special presentation to make tonight, but before we can make it, we need to take care of some business, and we will be moving a resolution. And this is a resolution that I'll ask Cindy Phillips to present. It concerns donations and sponsorship. Cindy?
Good evening, everyone. So you have a Resolution before you tonight, une résolution sous dons et commandites under donations and sponsorships. It is proposed that we grant an exceptional sponsorship in the amount of $1,000 to be granted to Naomi Lusignan to participate in international sports competitions. It is further resolved that the sums will come from the following budgets: $500 from donations and sponsorships and $500 from the sports and recreation budget.
Thank you very much, Cindy. Could I have a mayor present move this? Moved by Mayor Sandra Armstrong. All those in favor? And I'm sure it's unanimous. And now I would like to ask Naomi and perhaps her father to come up to the front. We have a special presentation to make. Excellent. I'll stand right here where everybody can see you. And Naomi, very nice to meet you. It is with great pride and pleasure that we make this special presentation to you tonight. And usually we don't have the opportunity to present it to such an outstanding young person who has qualified at the age of 16, is that correct? To go in a weightlifting competition in the world competition as well as the Pan Am Games. So what we were able to do is give you $500 for each to help offset your transportation. And this is not what you're going to put in the bank, but we would like you to hold this and take a picture. Colleen is going to take a picture to be able to put this on the MRC website. If you want to take a picture for the equity, we can answer. Thank you. We all know that it was just last year that your son was here and we were ready to give you a donation at that time, but the community of, really the Pontiac at large has really got so much excitement and pride behind your family that I know a lot of fundraising is going on, but we would just like to wish you all the very best of success, and we're so proud of you. And I'd like to give you a chance, and your dad. Go ahead, Naomi, if you'd like to say.
Thank you, everyone. My name is Naomi.
I can say if you prefer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Bonjour tout le monde, je m'appelle Naomi Lusignan. Ça fait 6 ans que je fais de l'haltérophilie. Je suis vraiment fière de moi-même parce que ça fait vraiment longtemps que j'attends de faire ça. D'aller à une compétition internationale, pour moi, ça vaut tout. Quand j'ai su que j'étais invitée, j'étais vraiment contente. J'ai littéralement lâché un cri, comme j'étais « Ah! » J'étais vraiment contente, puis je suis vraiment contente que j'ai une municipalité qui supporte nos athlètes parce que sans vous autres, on ne sera pas capable d'aller loin de même parce qu'exemple, si je remets en ville, eux autres, ça ne les dérange pas, comme les pas tout le monde, c'est progressif pour tout le monde. Donc ici, je suis vraiment thankful qu'on ait une municipalité qui supporte beaucoup. Ça me fait vraiment grand, comme mon pays est vraiment gros que vous me donnez tout ça. Je ne sais pas que je ferais sans tous vous autres, honnêtement. Je suis vraiment thankful. Merci.
C'est ça, Naomi, ça fait un petit bout. Naomi, vous avez c'est un petit bout qui font l'haltérophilie olympique, qui ont choisi ce sport-là. Puis ça a donné que les deux, ils font très bien dans le sport, ils développent rapidement. Ils ont percé, ils avaient percé la scène internationale l'année passée, ils ont mis cette année. Donc, déjà, ils sont au niveau mondial, c'est quand même assez spécial. Vous avez déjà champion canadien. Et puis, Naomi, je suis pas loin en arrière. C'est un sport amateur, c'est une bonne chance pour eux autres d'aller participer aux Jeux olympiques, les prochains Jeux olympiques. Et étant donné que c'est un sport amateur et plus professionnel, on n'a pas tout le temps le support qui vient avec ça. Donc, oui, des fois, la fédération peut aider un peu, mais du transport, les billets d'avion, l'accommodation pour la nourriture, l'hôtel, c'est pas souvent, c'est pratiquement pas couvert. Donc, ils vont aider les athlètes à payer la compétition, puis à payer peut-être 1 ou 2 journées d'hôtel, mais le reste, c'est la famille ou quand on peut avoir le support de la communauté, ben, c'est apprécié parce que les autres, ils peuvent pratiquer leur sport, puis au moins, ça les fait aller plus loin, ça leur donne du support et tout. Là, fait que comme Naomi disait, ben, on est choyé d'être supporté par toute la communauté. On voit la différence. On a des athlètes à Toronto qu'ils veulent aller plus loin, mais des fois, ils n'ont pas le support. Puis on croirait qu'à Toronto, tu parles de de l'argent, mais c'est pas en tout comme ça que ça fonctionne. Donc, ici, comme je dis, on est gratifié d'avoir tout ce support-là, puis d'aider les enfants. Puis je pense que s'ils sont rendus, il y a des bonnes chances qu'ils se rendent aux Jeux olympiques, les prochains Jeux olympiques. Donc, je pense que c'est quand même spécial. Pas tout le monde qui a la chance, mais ils aiment ça le faire, puis c'est pour moi qui pousse, c'est les autres qui ont l'intérêt de faire ça. Donc, je vous remercie beaucoup, merci à la communauté de tout ce support.
Just highlight one, I just have one question. Which are the days in April and May that you're doing your competition?
Donc, il y avait 2 compétitions internationales que Naomi doit participer. Il y a les championnats Pan Am qui étaient prévus pour le mois d'avril. Et donc, ça, pour une raison particulière, je ne sais pas si c'est la guerre ou si c'est le COVID, les Pan Am ont été poussés en juillet ou septembre. Les championnats du monde, ils n'ont pas été déplacés, donc c'est toujours en juin. Donc, Naomi va se lancer en juin pour les championnats du monde, et puis Xavier, lui, va participer pour les championnats du monde junior en Grèce. Et ça, c'est ce que je dis, c'est au mois de juin. Donc, Xavier, c'est en juin.
Well, we will be following you very
Oui,
closely, and please keep us informed.
Ça sera diffusé avec la plateforme YouTube. Je sais que François Carrier aussi est censé se déplacer pour reporter l'événement aussi. Mais on va inscrire ça sur YouTube et on va transmettre le lien à courriel.
Mark that. So don't feel you have to take this to the bank. I'm sure Cindy Phillips and Annie Vine, our treasurer, will make sure that you receive the real thing shortly. So functions, and we're very, very proud of you. Thank you.
I'll just give you a hug.
Thank you. And I would also like to recognize Cindy Phillips and her team, who very quickly, with Annie Viancourt, was able to make this happen, because we didn't have a lot of notice, and we wanted to make sure that this was, approved in time. So thank you very much, everyone. Very, very happy news. Okay, thank you. Journers pointed out that I skipped an item, and that was number 7. We need to adopt the minutes of the last sitting of our public meeting in February. Could I have a mayor move this, please? Moved by Mayor Joe McCleary. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Thank you. Go on to number 10, the warden's report. So since the meeting in February, I was a guest on the RAWQ coffee chat. I have met with mayors of L'Île-du-Grand, Calumet, Fort Calengia, Mansfield, attended a CPO meeting, participated and supported the demonstration outside the MRC, and Bernard Waugh was there as well, supporting our local agencies and organizations that were demonstrating about insufficient salaries and funds. Also, the HR committee met, Flood Prevention Task Force, had a meeting with Sophie Chattel, which included Mayor Corey Spence, Sandra Armstrong, Christine Francoeur, Odette Godin, and Maurice Beauregard. Meeting with Sontride Oudaway with Claude Gallipo about the breakfast that we're hoping to have on April 28th with all of the mayors in the business community to raise money for Sontride. TDSP and CDC had a housing forum in the Pontiac. I participated in that, in conclusion and next steps at the end. This is about the shortage of housing, priorities, and solutions. I attended with Andre Fortin the Pontiac Community Players announcement that they're now in OBNL at PHS. Had a meeting with Cindy Phillips about PRR number 1. Meeting with Carrie Richardson, but waste management, meeting with Agence de Bassin Versant des Sept to discuss protection of our rivers and opportunities to work with the Credo and CPAWS. Full day ethics training in Waltham. Many of you are participating in this at the moment. And that particular one, the mayors and DGs and councils of Waltham and Thorn were there. And thanks to the hospitality of the Mayor of Waltham, we had some very nice refreshments. Thank you. Meeting with Andre Fortin, a subcommittee of the CPO, which I'm on, discussing the organization of Des Assises Annuelles de l'Outaouais. Meeting with Sophie Chattel and Bill McCleary in Shawville. Various meetings with residents concerning assessments in evaluations and taxes. Meeting about concern about raves. Interviews with CHIP concerning International Women's Day and the crisis in the Ukraine. Pontiac Journal and the Equity. Preparation meeting with staff for plenary last week. Meeting with the Fort College Council, plenary committee. Meeting with the SADC. Meeting with Mansfield Council. Meeting with Cindy Phillips. Attended Steel Magnolias at PHS. It was sold out every night. Did any other mayors here have a chance to see it? A chance? It was great production. The Committee of Vitalization attended a launch of local products, something new that Coronation Hall is doing. They're creating kind of a country store. March 22nd, I just wanted to inform you that the NSDF, Near Surface Disposal Facility, is having a webinar, and I think there's going to be information about participating in the NSDF hearings, and that's from 10 until 11 on March 22nd, and then from 12 till 1, they have something nuclear power, the design of WR1 and demonstration about the reactors and in situ disposal, no registration necessary. FCM has asked, I believe tonight we are moving a resolution of support by FQM to support the people of Ukraine. FCM have also got something similar. I just wanted to make you aware of it, to express solidarity with the people of the Ukraine and all Canadians of Ukraine heritage. And on March 30th, the Espace Muni from 6:30 till 8 have a virtual platform. L'équipe d'Espace Muni invite sont des activistes et des acteurs politiques et administratifs ouvrant au sein des municipalités et des MRC de la région de l'Outaouais à venir tous rencontrer virtuellement à l'occasion de notre tournée post-électorale. They're doing a tournée or a tournée trip around basically, but it's being done virtually post the municipal election. Okay, are there any questions about my report? Yes.
You would ask at our last meeting regarding that. You decided where the location is for that trade breakfast.
Oh,
Did you still want the line all in all, or
is it available?
if you are, I'll make sure.
I think that would be a great location. So something that we should nail down. And so we're looking at the morning. It's a Thursday morning, I believe, April 28th. And I think the Lions Club in Shawville would be a great place to hold that. We'll be inviting the business community, and we're hoping all of the mayors will be present to be able to cook and serve. Well, I know some people have other jobs and it's not possible to be there. I see what you're saying there. But for those who are, I think it would be just a great show of community spirit, and it would also just be a great way to be involved with raising some money for Centraide. And we will also have the 7 organizations that benefit so that they can really let people in the Pontiac understand how much of the money that is donated to the whole Outaouais actually comes to the Pontiac. Okay, thank you. Go on to number 11, announcements and events. So this is your opportunity. We'll go around. I'll just follow the attendance sheet. Yes, you're right. we're going to go in order of where you're sitting to make it easier for Colleen to microphone. So we're going to start with, so it's your opportunity to speak about any upcoming events or just anything new in your municipality. So we'll start with Pro Mayor Nancy McGuire from Little Calumet.
Thank you for giving me this time. I passed out a pamphlet, and it's concerning a business that's located on Aliman Island. And the reason, and I did request permission prior to being here, the reason why I wanted to share this with everyone is because it's called the Authentic Wellness Center. It's been around for a couple of years. However, they started up just before COVID hit. And it's a center that provides personal development, professional development. There's at least up to 8 programs that's offered. And what's unique about this is that a person's experience is all through working with therapeutic horses. It's well known in other parts of the world. And I think it's important for us here in the Pontiac to support a business of this nature because of what we just went through with 2.5 years of COVID. And I am hoping that each and every one of you as leaders in your communities would consider maybe supporting your staff to attend a day workshop. There's 2-day workshops. There's as many sessions as a group would need. But I think it's something that they will come out with a profound change, whatever that may be for them, whether it's under communication skills, whether it's a personal awareness skill, but it's done in an environment that's non-judgmental, showing high respect, regard for the people that participate in this service, and it's all with therapeutic horses. It's quite unique, and I think it's very beneficial for the Pontiac. Okay. And I would ask that if people could support it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nancy. And it's certainly appropriate to talk businesses. I just wanted to give you a chance. Is there anything else, just through your council, any events that you know that are coming up like in the next month? Is there anything at the moment?
Yes, at our rink, there will be skating, disco skating, which is a lot of fun and open to all ages. And that's going on this weekend. Excellent. That's one event that I'm totally aware of.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And so now we'll go to Mayor Bill McCleary from Shawville.
Do you have anything that I don't know?
Not that I know.
Yeah, just ask Colleen.
There's not a lot going on. We're back to public skating again. The arena's open, and there's a men's hockey tournament the last Thursday, Friday in March, first Saturday in April. So if you want to go watch men's hockey, that's
very good. Thank you very much. We'll go to Mayor Donnie Gagnon from Chichester.
Okay, the only thing we have going on is St. Patrick's tomorrow. And Georgia music, and everyone is welcome.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Mayor Doris Ranger from Sheenborough.
Actually, there's nothing going on in Sheenborough, pretty quiet, but I might like to add to Donnie's comment. The music is by Andrew Jones. I believe it's Colleen's brother.
Wow, perfect.
Thank you.
Gary's pretty good. Thank you very much. Mayor Christine Franker from Fort College.
On March the 24th, we have our very own resident Maxime Galland that will be launching his CD at the downtown restaurant. And also on April 2nd at 9:30 at the arena, there's going to be a car rally, so everyone is welcome.
Great. Thank you very much. Pro Warden Sandra Armstrong from Mansfield.
For College and Mansfield, we share.
Yeah.
So there'll be free skating at the arena this Saturday from 7 to 9, paid by the Knight of Columbus.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Mayor Ed Walsh from,
Just an add-on to what Bill had said, at the end of the 31st of March and the 1st and 2nd of April is our men's flying elbow tournament. It's held in Shawville, but the Lions Club will be hosting the bar upstairs. So that's usually one of their biggest fundraisers for the Lions over the years. So the last couple of years it's been shut down because of COVID. So anybody who wants to come out and sponsor watch the hockey and sponsor the Lions Club, all the money goes back into the community. So it's a great fundraiser.
perfect. Can I ask why it's called the Flying Elbows? Does that mean there's a bit of fighting?
Have you ever seen men's hockey with alcohol involved? There's usually elbows and sticks and everything flying. So
Okay. Mayor Brantor from Bristol.
Nothing this month, just that spring's around the corner and we're having beautiful weather.
Perfect. Beautiful weather just in Bristol. Okay, Mayor Jean-Louis Corvo. from
No, sorry,
Ville-de-Grande
nothing on-
Calumet.
Nothing on the island this month.
Not this
Sorry.
month.
Thank
Okay,
you.
that's all right. Mayor Carl Mayer
Nothing to
from
report. Nothing to report.
Elena Kaywood. Okay, nothing to report. Mayor, we'll go to Odie, Odette Godin from Waltham.
I have none.
Okay. Mayor Terry Liffler from Otter Lake.
No, we don't have a whole much going on, but I think we're gonna go see Donnie and Doris and go to George's.
Okay. Mayor Colleen LaRiviere from Litchfield.
No, we have nothing to report. Thank you.
Okay, fine. Mayor Morris Beauregard from Campbell's Bay.
Tomorrow at 1 p.m., the Pontiac Legion has a St. Patrick's party in Campbell's Bay. It's going to have live Irish and country music, so Terry can stop there on his way through for a beer.
Okay, great. That's perfect. Thank you. And, oh yes, how about Karen Kelly, Mayor Karen Kelly from Thorne?
Nothing to report this month.
Okay, how about Mayor Lynn Cameron from Portage de Fort?
Nothing here either, pretty quiet.
Okay, and I know Ed has a bit of, Doug has some laryngitis, but was there anything in particular, Doug?
No, nothing at all.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Okay, we'll move on to our public question period. Are there any members of the audience who would like to ask a question first? Okay, seeing none, we do have two people who have submitted questions. One is Amy Taylor. And you might recall last month, Amy Taylor wanted each of you to say whether you supported the vaccination passport. And what I had referred to was prior to Christmas, we had gone around and it was unanimous at that point that we were supporting government regulations. And now in terms of the passport not really being an issue, I am simply going to respond the same way, that it's really not a relevant question to be asked at our meeting tonight. The next person is Pat Guyette. And Pat, we're going to have to, I'd like to do a little preparation actually and come back to Pat in April. Pat has some very good points about basically how his municipal taxes have increased in the last 2 years and how he had been speaking to the chief evaluator from Quebec and that he knows that his taxes where he lives have also increased and that he feels that if we were to look at the poverty line in Quebec 2021 or even look at what it's been calculated for a person to live with dignity in Quebec, that a single person in 2021 would need an annual income of between $24,433, $32,607. So his question is, what annual income is considered poverty level in Canada? You know, I think we all know that we do hear from people whose taxes are higher than that they would like. The MRC sets the evaluation and it's the municipalities that determine, you know, based on that, what the actual taxation will be. But what Pat has asked is he'd like to see a committee formed to investigate and represent the citizens of the MRC Pontiac in a revision of our taxes for all. Well, that's a bit of a difficult thing to do, but what I would like to do, because I do think that we can't ignore the concerns that some of our residents have. What I would like to do is just discuss a few things in April at our plenary meeting. So that is what we'll do. We won't be moving a resolution on this tonight. I don't think that we can. Okay, and we also know, and we do invite all residents who are concerned about either their evaluations or their taxes, they can, they can approach the MRC, they can approach their mayors or municipalities, and in some cases, revisions are made, and certainly revisions on evaluations have been made. Okay, thank you. So we'll go on now to, were there any other questions that you know of, Mr. Greffier? Thank you very much. We'll go on to coronavirus, a follow-up. And so, Bernard, do you have anything, Mr. Waugh, anything you'd like to speak about in terms of operations at the building of the MRC?
Yeah, what I can say is that the employees at the MRCs are coming back. It will be done gradually. At this moment, around 50% of the employees are in the office, working in the office. And this rate, 50%, will also increase in the next week, in the future, in the close future.
Okay, very good. Thank you. And we're, very fortunate, I think, to be in the position that we're in right now in the Pontiac. Just like to, on behalf of all of us, thank all of the hard work from our healthcare workers and volunteers and all the people that were looking after our vaccination center in Campbell's Bay. Actually, Mayor Beauregard, you were reporting something to me. That space is still sort of rented or reserved until when?
So right now it's reserved to the
end of June. Okay, but at the moment, is it open for vaccination? Is still. That's great. Thank you very much. There had been discussion of us organizing some mobile clinics. I made that request. I asked for 3 or 4 of them, and a CISO has had difficulty organizing that because they were short of workers, etc., but also said that with the improvement in terms of number of cases and less testing, that they were concerned that if they organized it, there may not be enough people who would be interested to come out. But we're still encouraging people to, it is still possible to get a first vaccination. And, we just ask everybody to continue vigilance, and we're just hoping for the best. It's great to see, I think, restaurants opening to full capacity, dancing allowed, it means weddings, etc., funerals, which were limited to numbers of 25 last summer. We're certainly going to see greater numbers now. So one step at a time, and I will continue to work with the CISO on this and keep you updated. Number 15, mandatory training, ethical conduct, Bernard Waugh.
Oui, merci. L'article 15 de la loi sur l'éthique et la déontologie oblige tout membre du conseil municipal à suivre dans les 6 mois du début de son mandat formation sur l'éthique et d'en informer dans les 30 jours de greffier. So this item is to publicly inform that, respecting Section 15 of the Quebec Law on Ethics, that Mrs. Warden Jane Toller attended on March 5th, 2022, the mandatory training on ethics provided by the FQA.
So just, for information. Okay, thank you very much. Number 16, finances, Annie Vaillancourt, and we'll have a resolution after her report.
Okay, so for finances for the MRC, we're currently for accounts receivables. $2,120,927.70. It's a bit larger this month. It's just because we billed out the first shares to the municipalities. We have a list of accounts payables that total $200,084.36. And we have paid bills in the last month for a total of $147,866.06, which were some donations and sponsorships or funds approved through cultural fund, FRR budgets, some utility bills, tourism, the SPCA, our monthly amount to the SPCA. And there was no travel expenses.
All right, that is your report. Thank you. Are there any questions or comments that any of the mayors would like to make at this point? Okay, could I have a resolution, please? Moved by Mayor Colleen LaRiviere. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Go on to number 17, the activity report of the treasurer.
Yes, this is
Annie?
concerning the election that was held just last November 7, 2021. So this is a report that has to be done annually and sent. We need a resolution and it needs to be sent to the Elections Québec. C'est un rapport pour les élections qui doit être fait annuellement et envoyé au DGEQ. Vous avez un tableau qui montre l'information des candidats pour l'élection. So we have the candidates for the elections. This is for the warden election, of course, for the MRC. So Jane Toller, Michael McCrank for the position of warden. You have their representative, their l'agent officiel. So Jane Toller was her own representative, and for Michael McCrank was Winston Sundstrom. Jane Toller obtains 52.69% of the votes, and Michael McCrank 47.31%. In the next section, we have the allocated expenses, total expenses. La limite de dépenses total expenses, $7,661.10 is what they were allowed to spend on their campaign. And Jane Toller spent $7,546.32. Michael McCrank spent $7,573.70. And then at the end, they're entitled to a reimbursement, a partial reimbursement of those expenses, which is to be determined because we have to wait for that information to come back from Quebec.
Okay, and you need a resolution.
Yes,
just,
please.
Okay, thank you. Could I have a resolution, please? Moved by Mayor Walsh. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. Thank you. Number 18. Compliance audit report of the CMQ, transmission of financial reports. A resolution. Bernard and Annie. Bernard? Or Annie?
Yes. The first item is about the COVID, no?
Sorry.
No, sorry. Rapport d'audit de conformité, sorry. Okay, so we, as we already mentioned a month ago, we have to submit information to the CMQ about an audit on the on some elements here at the MRC. We received a report of this audit, and you also have joined the report, so you can see it. And we have to mention there were a recommendation on that. And conformément à l'article 86.8 de la loi sur la commission, il est proposé et résolu d'officialiser le dépôt du conseil de rapport d'audit de se conformer à la commission municipale publiée le mercredi 16 mars 2022. So it is, if I translate it, pursuant to section 86.8, it is moved by and resolved to officialize the tabling of with council of the commission. Commission Municipal so the report published on Wednesday, March 16. The recommendation was to, for those who were not following the delay allowed to submit the financial document, to take measures for the future to meet those requirements.
Okay, thank you. And so I'd like to just add to that when I took a look at the report and I saw MRC Pontiac, I was very proud to see that only in 2016 did we got a little red X, but for 2018, 19, and 20, we got a green check. And this was not the case in many other MRCs in the province of Quebec. And so I really like to give credit to our treasurer, Annie Vinecourt, for seeing this through and making sure that things were in on time and that we have a more successful audit than many others. So keep up the good work, and we need a resolution to table this. Moved by Pro Warden Sandra Armstrong. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. Good work. And we will now go to 19, General Administration. in our law, and we're going to start with 18.1, the recommendations for COVID-19 financial aid. Oh, it's Annie Vinecourt, I guess, presenting a resolution. Go ahead, Annie.
Yes, so we have a few recommendations for the COVID fund. The first one is to set aside $326.73 for the monthly meetings that we have to hold because of COVID and renting halls for the plenary and council meetings. So that's just for the rental fee of twice a month. We'd also like to recommend the audiovisual equipment for a cost of about $1,600. That is portable, so we'll use it in our Elsie Gibbons room, but we can also move it around to other meetings if need be. We'd also like to recommend the purchase of 3 computers that are special computers for our inspectors with some extra batteries and the stylus pens for them as well. And those come up to a total of $667.92. The next one is the pouring of a concrete slab for our new generator that we will be getting. So this was also an expense that was in this fund. So the concrete slab is $4,461.97. And we also have some repairs to do in our parking lot where it meets our walkway for our main entrance. And that we got a quote for as well for $9,448.88.
Okay, great. Thank you, thank you, Annie. And I think we had discussed this in plenary, so this is not new news to the mayors. Does anyone have any questions or further clarification from Annie? Okay, could I have someone move the resolution? Moved by Mayor Terry LaFleur. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. Thank you. 19.2, the position of the Director of the Property Assessment Department, poste de Directeur du Département d'Évaluation Foncière. Resolution, Bernard. I'll introduce it.
I will let Annie.
Or Annie, yes. Okay, perfect. Thanks, Bernard.
I'll just read a short description of what the position is. Sous l'autorité du directeur général, le directeur du service de l'évaluation foncière assume l'ensemble des responsabilités reliées à la planification, l'organisation, la coordination et au contrôle des activités et des ressources du service. Il est responsable de la confection et de la tenue à jour des rôles municipaux d'évaluation foncière pour 18 municipalités locales. Il exerce également un rôle conseil auprès de la direction dans le processus de prise de décision relatif au domaine précité. So we do have a job description and everything ready to go. We have to pass a resolution to prouver aller en appel de candidature pour le poste.
Okay, perfect. Merci. Could I have someone move this recommendation, this resolution? Moved by Mayor Brantor. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. Nat, could I just ask if you happen to see, unfortunately, just from where I'm sitting, I don't have a good view of the screen for those on Zoom. If anyone's trying to get my attention, could you please let me know? Or if someone wants to move a recommendation because they're participating in this and, you know, through no fault of theirs, if I'm just not seeing them, I don't want them to feel excluded from the meeting. So thank you. That would be helpful. Go on to number 19.3. Consulting firm, recruitment for the position of Director of the Property Assessment Department. Okay, thank you. And this is another resolution presented by you or Annie Barney, yourself.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Donc, c'est un poste, cette résolution est basée sur l'importance du poste de directeur de service d'évaluation à pourvoir et qui justifie la pertinence d'être accompagné par une firme spécialisée en recrutement de personnel. So, as the position of director of the assessment department is strategic, it is appropriate to ask the support of a firm specialized in recruitment. This firm is asked to recruit a director for the assessment department, but also we propose to recruit a technician for the service in that service of assessment. To sign an agreement, we propose also to sign an agreement with the firm PVRH at the conditions of a fee of 22% of the annual salary, a guarantee of 6 months when we choose our good candidate, and to provide those two positions, the estimated cost will be approximately $35,000.
Okay, any questions or comments? Okay, so we need a resolution now, Bernard. Could I have someone move this, please? Moved by? Oh, Christine, I'm sorry. Thank you. Mayor Christine Francoeur, all those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. 19.4, Transcolline, maintien et modification du service de transport interurbain sur l'axe de la route 148. Resolution, Bernard Roy.
Une résolution pour payer le coût du service rendu par Transcolline du 1er avril au 31 décembre 2021, incluant une demande de subvention de 101 082 pour un paiement de la MRC 22 415. So, whereas the MRC Pontiac, municipality of Pontiac, and Transcolline wish to maintain and develop the intercity transportation service under the territory, whereas the MTQ has renewed its program of funding for year 2021 and 2022, whereas the financial forecast for the period from April 1st to December 31st is as given at the table you'll see on the first document. So you have the table attached and this, yes, yeah, you see it there. So total expenses were 144, I think, if I have the number well. But if I remember, it was $144,000. And so the cost that will for the MRC is $22,415. And in that resolution also we ask for the submission of grant, the financial grant from the MTQ for an amount of $101,082.
I will.
Moved by Mayor Karen Kelly. All those in favor? Opposed, and that's carried. Thank you, Bernard. 19.5, sale for taxes. Portage de Fort, Bernard Roy, resolution.
Une résolution habituelle, autorisation pour signer le contrat de vente pour non-paiement de taxes d'un immeuble à Portage du Fort, to authorize the Director General and Secretary Treasurer and or Mrs. Warden to sign the contract prepared by Notary Mireille for lot 3350587, and it is in Portage du Fort.
Okay, could I have a resolution, please? Moved by Mayor from Elena Kaywood. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. Thank you. Okay, great. We'll go on now to economic development with Cindy Phillips. 20.1. FR volet 3, signature innovation au Mamache. A resolution, Cindy?
Oui, c'est pour l'autorisation de dépôt du devis du projet Trajectoire Pontiac du FR volet 3, signature innovation au Mamache. So this is regarding the deposit of our proposal for our signature innovation project under stream 3 of the Regions and Morality Fund with the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing. If you recall, last May, Council declared a solution interest in concluding an agreement with the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing for a signature innovation project under component 3 of the Regions and Morality Fund to define what makes the Pontiac unique. And so you have a resolution before you tonight. Whereas the government of Quebec has created the Regions and Morality Fund as part of the 2020 to 2024 Partnership for Even Stronger Municipalities and Regions, and has reinforced the financial levers available to Quebec's regional elected officials. The FRR Signature Innovation Component 3 is intended to support the MRCs in carrying out initiatives that enhance their territorial identity, Whereas the MRC Pontiac will receive an amount of $208,333 per year for the period of April 1st, 2020 to March 31st, 2025, for a total of $1,041,665. Whereas by resolution number CM 2021-0517, the MRC Pontiac has indicated its interest in entering into an agreement with MEMASH. Whereas the MRC Pontiac has completed the process of reflection and consultation with the actors of the entrepreneurial community to support us in our definition of the project specifications. And whereas the specifications for the Trajectoire Pontiac project have been posted to ID Side and the members of council have read them and are satisfied. Therefore, you have a resolution before you tonight authorizing the submission to the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing, the specifications for the Trajectoire Pontiac project within the framework of component 3, and that the warden, Mrs. Jane Toller, or the Director General, Monsieur Bernard Foy, be authorized to sign all documents required to give effect to this resolution.
Okay, very good, thank you. Could I have a mayor move this resolution? Moved by Mayor Morris Beauregard. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. Great work, Cindy. And we'll go on now to 20.2, adoption of the common FLE FLS investment policy.
Oui, c'est pour l'adoption de la politique d'investissement FLE FLS, adoption of the common FLE FLS investment policy. Whereas the FLE FLS Common Investment Policy reflects the objectives and investment criteria of the Minister of Economy and Innovation, also reflects the objectives and investment criteria of the Solidarity Fund, FTQ. Whereas this policy has been reviewed by the Investment Committee and adjustments have been made based on their recommendations. Whereas the Investment Committee of March 7th, 2022, by way of resolution, recommends the adoption of this policy by the Regional Council of the MRC. You have a resolution before you to adopt the joint FLE FLS investment policy and send it to the Solidarity Fund FTQ for signature.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments? Otherwise, could I please have a mayor move this resolution? Mayor Ed Walsh from opposed, and that carries. 20.3, the adoption of the 2022 business support policy. Cindy?
Oui, l'adoption de la politique de soutien aux entreprises pour 2022, the adoption of the 2022 business support policy according to our agreement signed with the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing for the Regions and Morality Fund, component 2, the MRC must adopt a business support policy. You have a resolution before you tonight to adopt the policy as presented at plenary for 2022.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any comments or questions? Okay, seeing none, could I please have a mayor move this resolution? Moved by Mayor Doris Ranger. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. So then we go on to another item by Cindy Phillips, 20.4, Creative Development Fund Call for Project Spring 2022.
Oui, donc concernant l'appel de projet pour le printemps 2022 pour le Fonds de développement créatif, a resolution regarding the call for spring projects for the Creative Development Fund. The Creative Development Fund is an investment by the MRC Pontiac of $5,000 per year divided into 2 calls per year. And so you have a resolution before you tonight to outline the call for projects for the spring as follows. April 4th, launch of call for projects. May 13th, deadline for submissions. The week of May 23rd, a meeting of the Analysis Committee, and June 8th, presentation of recommendations to the Regional Council of Mayors.
Great, thank you. Any comments or questions? I see none. Could I have someone move this resolution, please? Moved by Mayor Donnie Gagnon. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. 20.5, recommendation du comité d'investissement. Resolution, Cindy.
Yes, so the Investment Committee recommendations stemming from the meeting held on March 7th of the Investment Committee are as follows. MRC CI 2022-0304. The Investment Committee recommends to the Regional Council to award a grant of $3,000. and MRC CI 2022-03, I'm sorry, that should read 05. The investment committee recommends that the regional council award a grant of $25,000. Those are the two recommendations stemming from the last meeting of the investment committee.
Great, thank you so much. Any comments or questions? Okay, could I have a mayor please move? Thank you, Pro Warden Sandra Armstrong. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Thank you. 20.6, recommendations, donations, and sponsors. You've got two. 20.6.1, donations and sponsorships from group L'Île du Grand Calumet. Cindy?
Oui, nous avons deux demandes de dons et commandites à traiter. La première, c'est du groupe de l'île du Grand Calumet. The first one is from the group of the Grand Calumet. They have requested a donation to support them in their publishment to the Pontiac Journal of their fundraising activities that are planned for the year, the details of which will cover three main projects: a scavenger hunt being scheduled for Saturday, June 4th, a ball tournament on the weekend of July 8th, and finally a fishing tournament scheduled for Saturday, August 6th. You have a recommendation before you tonight to award a donation of $400 for their initiative.
Okay, thank you. Any comments or questions about that? Could I have a mayor move this recommendation, please? Moved by Mayor Bill McCleary from Shawville. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. And finally, 20.6.2, donations and sponsorships from the Pontiac Scholarship Fund. Cindy Phillips.
Oui, c'est une recommandation pour un don pour des bourses du Pontiac, so a recommendation of a bursary for the Pontiac Scholarship Fund. You have a resolution before you tonight recommending an exceptional sponsorship of $1,000 to be granted to Les Bourses du Pontiac for awarding scholarships to Pontiac youth. And it is further resolved that the scholarship be awarded to a student pursuing training in either education or health sectors.
Great. Yeah, thank you. Any comments or questions? Could someone please move this resolution? Moved by Pro Mayor Nancy McGuire. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Thank you, Cindy. That's a lot of hard work. Well done. 21, Public Safety. Julian Gagnon. 21.1, the local priorities for 2022-2023. Go ahead, Julian.
Good evening, everyone. So, donc, cette résolution concerne les travaux réalisés par l'unité de sécurité de la MRC concernant le choix de deux priorités locales pour la Sûreté du Québec. So this is a resolution approving the selection of two local priorities as identified by the Public Security Committee of the MRC. This process is done on an annual basis. And for the 2022-23 year, the two local priorities have been identified as follows. Priority number one was an intervention regarding network safety. So each municipality will have a choice of one targeted issue, i.e. speeding or stop signs, one targeted location, and in one targeted
Just a moment, Julian, sorry.
Experiencing technical.
We need our expert.
Good.
That's all you had to do? Okay, very good. Amazing, magic. Okay,
Perfect.
maybe
So
start again. That was a little distracted.
I'll go back a bit, sure.
Okay,
So priority number one was the intervention regarding network safety. So we have, each municipality will have the option to select one targeted issue. For example, speeding, stop signs, ATVs, dog patrol, etc., in one targeted location, and that will result in at least one minimum patrol by the Sûreté du Québec every 35 days per municipality. So each municipality will have a choice. Priority number two is interventions regarding criminal activities. So once again, one targeted problem, drug use, graffiti, loitering, etc., in one targeted location, and again will result in at least one patrol every 35 days in each municipality. So this is a resolution to adopt these two local priorities.
wonderful. Thank you so much. Any comments or questions? I see Mayor Donnie Gagnon's hand up. He's moving it. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. And then we'll go on to 21.2, the petition, Maniwaki Base of the SOFU. Go ahead, Leon.
Oui, donc ce point d'information concerne une pétition mise en ligne par notre député provincial André Fortin suite à une demande du comité d'urgence SOFU afin de préserver une direction générale locale au sein de la base de la SOFU à Maniwaki. So this information point concerns a petition launched by our MP, André Fortin, following a request by the SOFU Urgency Committee, which is trying to preserve the local head office and regional center for forest firefighting at the Maniwaki SOFU base. So the first of these petitions released in May of 2021 was judged to be inadequate for reasons of non-conformity. So this is a new version and it has been put online by our MP at the Assemblée Nationale website. I believe this link will be available to all on all our social media. And this petition has already been discussed at the National Assembly, actually, so it cannot be judged inadequate or inaccurate this time around. So we invite everybody to sign the petition. It is available online and as of a few hours ago, I believe it had over 300 signatures. The deadline for this signature is April 11th.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Julian. And, thanks to Andre Fortin for taking carriage because this is it affects us. We have a lot of people who work up there in Maniwaki, but I know that Chantal Lamarche really appreciates the assistance that Andre is giving. And, I'm not sure, but I think MRC Pontiac might be leading the way for the most number of petitions in Quebec because we seem to be launching one every month. But, I think that we're getting somewhere with them. And anyways, it certainly is an issue that if the wording isn't correct, they just throw it out in Quebec City. And I just want to give credit to Andre Fortin's office and Denise Morissette because they have helped us. We've always made sure we've gotten the wording correct, whether it was for the obstetrics, for Law 96, or for most recently our cellular demand for cellular coverage. So have you finished your report? And so
No.
now you need from us, it's for information, it's not a resolution.
Correct.
Do you want to add anything?
No, not to this
Just to
point.
publicize the fact that this is available for people to sign right now.
Correct.
Okay, thank you very much, Julian.
I will present the following points.
Go ahead.
Uh,
you on 22.1, Outaouais Outdoor Index Improvement. Thanks very much, Julian.
Good. So the MAMASH has approved the project from Loisirs Sport Outaouais to optimize and improve the Outaouais Plein Air portal website. The MRC is actively involved in the Table Régional en Plein Air and has contributed to the development of the Outaouais Outdoor Action Plan. So the Outaouais Plein Air portal is a website that may be linked here in either side, but essentially it gives all residents an option as to for activities, outdoor activities in the Outaouais region as a whole. So for example, if a family would like to know what they can do in the winter, if they'd like to do skiing in the winter months, they just simply punch that into the website and it will give all the activities available for skiing in the Outaouais region. Or in the summer, if they'd like to do canoeing, they just simply punch that and insert that information and it will give you the details of all the businesses that provide that type of service in the Outaouais. So the project that was headed by the Loisirs Sport Outaouais was a revamping of their website. They would like to hire somebody, I believe, to revamp and improve the website. And we had committed to putting $1,000 towards the project over the next 2 years. So for a total of $2,000 over 2 years. The total amount of the project was $135,000 and the ministry is putting $98,000, I believe, from the FAR program, if I'm correct. And the other partners are each putting in the $2,000. So that is our contribution to the project for 2 years. And it's a very beautiful website. I've looked at it and I promote the use of it if anybody would like to have a look.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Any comments or questions for Julian? Otherwise, are we going to vote then on a resolution? Could I have someone move it, please? Moved by Mayor Christine Francoeur from Fort Plunge. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. Thank you, Julian. Great work. We go on now to our management of territory, Jason Durand. And Jason, and Thierry Rambo's name is on it as well. But Jason, I guess, is here tonight to present approbation rapport final sur les nouvelles matières organiques. Go ahead, resolution.
Oui, bonsoir tout le monde. Yes, hello again. Effectivement, on avait fait faire une étude par la compagnie Solinov l'année passée dans le but d'étudier au niveau de la gestion des matières organiques l'ensemble des municipalités. Donc, ils ont déposé un rapport, donc avec des suggestions. Ça a été présenté au maire au dernier plénier. Donc, en notre mot, c'est d'avoir une résolution pour, dans le fond, finaliser le rapport. So I was saying, we had this study made by Solinov regarding organic matter when it comes to the gestion of that for the municipalities. So they had a report and they had recommendations. So in other words, this is having a resolution to in other words, for the report, to finalize the report, to adopt the report.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments to Jason? Okay, then could we please have a resolution? Moved by Mayor Christine Francoeur from Fort Plunge. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Go on to 23.2, signing authority, GMF 17615 project. Could you explain what
Well,
project
actually,
that
this is it's always related to the Solinov and organic matter
Okay.
gestion. So in other words, we have some funding regarding the continuity of all this. So this authorized Bernard to sign all documents. Donc, comme je disais, c'est en lien toujours avec l'étude Solinov. C'est pour autoriser M. Bernard à signer les documents en lien avec le fonds là, pour continuer les travaux en cette direction.
Okay, parfait, merci. Could I have someone move this resolution, please? Moved by Pro Warden Sandra Armstrong. All those in favor? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank you. 23.3, prolongation de la convention d'aide financière pour la cartographie des zones inondables. Resolution, Alexandre Savoie-Perron, but presented by you.
Oui, vous
Okay,
présentez.
parfait, pour résolution.
Donc, oui, encore résolution. C'est dans le fond, c'est une demande, c'est pour prolonger là, au niveau de l'aide financière pour la cartographie des fameuses zones inondables. Donc, suite aux inondations qu'on a eues. Donc, il y a un mandat de cartographier ça. Donc, in other words, is to have an extension regarding the mapping of the flood zones, to have an extension to do this work and to submit the report.
Okay, thank you. Any comments or questions? I was just thinking that might be, I mean, we will move the resolution tonight, but perhaps this report could be sent. We've got a flood prevention task force meeting coming up. Maybe they should also be aware of this. Thank you.
Sure.
Could I have someone move this resolution? Moved by Mayor Colleen LaRiviere from Litchfield. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. 23.4, program for the characterization of buildings and areas of heritage, application heritage pre-inventory resolution from Alexandre through you.
Yes, but however, unfortunately, we had some new information today. Donc, aujourd'hui, on a eu de nouvelles informations en lien avec ce sujet-là. Donc, we propose to postpone this and bring this issue back to the next plenary.
Okay, it's not time sensitive and you
No,
have
not
new
at all.
information that you need to add or whatever.
Well, like I say, with this information we had today, I think we might even go not ahead with this proposal.
Okay.
So however, we'll
We'll hear
discuss it
more
in
about
plenary.
that at our plenary.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, merci. Okay, 23.5, granting of a contract by mutual agreement in urban planning resolution. Go ahead.
Yeah, oui, encore, dans le fond, c'est d'octroyer un contrat encore de gré à gré avec M. Jean-Pierre Valquette dans le but là, de faire l'analyse de conformité d'un nouveau règlement de zonage qui était de la municipalité de Thorn. Donc, in other words, it's to have this contract to Mr. Jean-Pierre Valquette regarding the analyze of conformity of a new bylaw that was deposited by Thorn. So it's to analyze this conformity of this new bylaw regarding zoning.
Okay, any comments or questions? Could I have someone move this resolution, please? Moved by. Pardon me, Karen had her hand up? Oh, okay, pardon me. I know it's in Thorn, but I think someone else had their hand up. Mayor Ed Walsh. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. So now we'll go to 23.6, bank of hours to be used from Odeo.
Yes. Donc, en gros, ça, c'est on a une banque d'heures de réserve, de réservées, dans le fond, de disponibles plutôt. Donc, on va utiliser ces heures-là pour, dans le fond, pour que cette organisation-là fasse une étude socio-économique là, avec ces heures-là de disponibles en lien avec notre schéma d'aménagement à venir. Donc, in other words, it's a bank of hours we have with this organization, and we're going to use these hours to ask them to do a social demographic portrait of our MRC, and this is regarding the land use and development plan.
Very good. Okay, great. Any comments or questions? Could I have someone please move this resolution? Moved by Mayor Carl Mayer from Elena Kaywood. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. And finally, 23.7, very important, the creation of a protected area in the Noir and Kalunj River basins. Resolution. Jason.
Oui, lors du dernier, on a eu l'opportunité d'avoir une présentation du Credo et de la SNAP qui sont venus nous présenter, dans le fond, tous les bienfaits et les avantages qui pourraient être reliés là, à avoir une aire protégée pour notre fameuse rivière Coulonge et la rivière Noire ainsi. Donc, dans le fond, c'est nous autres, ce qu'on propose à ce soir, c'est de continuer de l'avant avec ce projet d'aire protégée. Donc, as I was saying, at the last plenary, we had the chance to have the Credo and SNAP presenting us all the issues regarding having a proposed protected area for the Kalunj and Black River. So maybe I'll just read a couple of, je vais y aller en anglais, là.
I think that would be a great idea, especially for those who are watching the meeting. Sometimes it's hard for them to understand exactly what we're voting on, and this is a very important issue, so go ahead.
Yeah, so in other words, like considering the beauty and the wilderness character of the natural landscape of the Black and Kalunj River constitute a distinctive asset to be preserved. Considering that the project aims to promote economic diversification, recreational and tourist development, and spin-offs for the communities of the MRC Pontiac through local governance of the proposed area. Considering that the targets for the protected areas discussed internationally are the 30% for the land area in 2030, and in the URUA, less than 7% of its territory is protected areas. And so in other words, I have other aspects for sure, but that's why it is proposed that the MRC Pontiac support the continuation of the project and commit to actively participate in the regional consultation process.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
If you don't mind,
Go
Jane, I
ahead.
can go in French there. So,
Sure.
Comme je
Good
disais,
idea.
je vais lire. Considérant que la beauté et le caractère sauvage des paysages naturels des rivières Noires et Coulonges constituent un atout distinctif à préserver, considérant que le projet vise à favoriser la diversification économique, le développement récréotouristique et les retombées pour les communautés de la MRC de Pontiac par une gouvernance locale de l'aire projetée, considérant que les sites d'aire protégés discutés à l'international sont de 30% de superficie terrestre en 2030 et que l'Outaouais compte moins de 7% de son territoire en aire protégée, il est proposé que la MRC Pontiac appuie la poursuite du projet et s'engage à participer activement dans le processus de consultation régionale.
Excellent. Who would like to move this resolution? Moved by Mayor Bill McCleary. All those in favor, and this is an important statement on our behalf. I hope this would be unanimous. Is there anyone who opposes it? Okay, then let's vote. All those in favor? Opposed, and that will be recorded as unanimous. Very important. Thank you very much. Thanks everybody for supporting that important resolution. Are you finished?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Merci. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, we go on now to miscellaneous. 24.1, Fierté Pontiac Pride. We have a resolution, and I could read it, or actually, Could I ask you to read it just as an angle here and,
I will read it,
oh, thank you.
if you agree.
I do agree.
So the translation in English, considering the importance of diversity and inclusion, considering the importance of the work done by the organization Fierté Pontiac Pride and the contribution of members of the LGBTQ2+ community in the Pontiac, it was proposed by and resolved that the Council of Mayor of the MRC Pontiac recognize the exemplary work done by the organization Fierté Pontiac Pride and express its support to the LGBTQ2+ community. It was also resolved that the rainbow flag would be raised in front of the MRC building in June for Pride Month. Be it further resolved that this resolution be forwarded to local municipalities for their support, with the recommendation that they also raise the rainbow flag at the municipal office next June.
Okay, thank you very much, Bernard. And we had a presentation 2 months ago by the group of Pontiac Pride. And we explained to them that you had asked to have this resolution come to each of your municipalities so that you could vote individually. And I believe you've all had time to do that. So tonight we're going to vote on behalf of the MRC. And so could I have someone please move this resolution? Moved by Pro Warden Sandra Armstrong. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. And I believe that the group have also said they will be providing the flags to each of us so that they will all be the same. And so we will let them know, of course, that this was approved, and I'm sure you will be receiving those in time. Thank you very much, everybody. 24.2, Solidarity with the Ukrainian People Resolution. Could I just look at your screen, Bernard? That would be helpful. Thank you so much. I should have done that for the last one. Okay. Whereas the Russian Federation has militarily invaded the Republic of Ukraine, whereas the Russian Federation has violated the international rules of respect for the integrity of national borders and caused the death of thousands of people and the exodus of Ukrainian citizens. Whereas in this day and age, the military solution is unacceptable to resolve conflicts between nations. Whereas the elected municipal officials and the people of Quebec are deeply distressed by the suffering of the Ukrainian people and communities. Whereas the will of the elected municipal officials of Quebec to express their total disapproval of this situation and the use of arms to settle conflicts. Whereas the will of the elected municipal officials and the population of Quebec to express their solidarity with the Ukrainian people. Whereas the gestures of solidarity of several municipalities and many Quebecers towards the Ukrainian people, particularly through donations to the Canadian Red Cross. It is proposed by, I have someone please, Mayor Christine Francoeur, and resolved that the regional county, I'll finish it and then we'll vote, that the regional county municipality, RCM of Pontiac, condemn in the strongest possible terms the invasion of Ukraine by Russia, that the RCM join its voice to the concert of nations to call on Russia to stop its aggression and withdraw all its forces from Ukraine and settle its differences through diplomacy, and that the MRC call on the government of Canada to take all necessary measures to bring Russia to abandon its bellicose attitude, that the MRC invite its citizens to participate in the solidarity effort towards the Ukrainian people. Is that the end of it, Bernard, or is there more, please? Thank you. That the MRC declare its interest in contributing to this collective and humanitarian effort and invite all groups and stakeholders to mobilize to organize the reception of these refugees on our territory. That a copy of this resolution be sent to the Prime Minister of Canada, Mr. Justin Trudeau, to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mrs. Melanie Joly, to the Premier of Quebec, Mr. Francois Legault, to the Embassy of the Republic of Ukraine, to the Embassy of the Russian Federation, to the Quebec Federation of Municipalities, and I'm going to add, and to the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, and to the regional and national media. So that's been proposed by Mayor Christine Francoeur. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? It will be recorded as unanimous. And we didn't have anyone opposed to the community pride as well. Pride Pontiac, it should also be recorded as unanimous.
You said one question though, for.
Yes, Ed.
We brought it up at our council, they have no issue with the flag. We just thought it excessive for the whole month.
For the whole month?
Do a week for that.
Okay, so I think the simple answer to that is that the group understands, that is pretty much left up to your own municipality. The MRC will have it up for a month. And so that is for your own municipality to decide. Okay. Yes, John.
I think comment would come up in my council, because we only have 2 flagpoles.
Okay.
Do you take down the Canadian flag or the Quebec flag? So that's where it was sitting. But we're in agreement.
This actually was discussed in Waltham, and they had a very creative solution.
Okay.
They kept their Canadian and their Quebec, but they're going to get a flag that goes out from the wall and hangs at their hall. So you don't have to use necessarily the 2 that have, I don't think the intent is to take down Quebec or Canada, but maybe this would
So
be.
that's the only reason, but we were asked to, because we have banners.
Okay.
They asked if they could get banners, and put banners up on.
Sure. We can give you a contact name from the group and perhaps speak to them, but they are going to be in touch with each of you, giving you a flag. Did you want to say something,
Yes.
Mayor Godin?
That actually, we had discussed that,
Mhm.
about that, actually Morse, I think we had that idea, but we're going to put it at our park.
Over at your park
Yes.
instead of
We
at
have
the
an extra,
town hall. Very good.
flagpole to put up there, we're going to put it at the park.
Very good. Okay, thank you very much. So we did vote on the Ukraine, and thank you very much for everyone's support on that. And in that resolution, it talked about people who would be willing to have refugees come. I want you to know that I've heard from at least 2 people who have asked how they could, get involved, that they have some space that they would be willing to take. So Bernard, I think that we should communicate the fact that we do have some interest in the Pontiac. If there are refugees coming to Quebec and they would like a place to go, we have groups that are really committed to bringing them in. So that's great. Good for the people of Pontiac. Okay, thank you very much for that. So we will go on now to 24.3. It's the SHQ file. This is something we discussed in plenary, and we have an issue in the Pontiac where with the SHQ program, we have one contractor who has not been paid, and it's now a couple of years old. And I would like to thank Bernard Waugh, who just today informed me of a development where a file is going to be open so that we could at least look into this one step at a time for this gentleman. And so what we'll need is a resolution, and I need, yes, Mayor Beauregard, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to add something to it.
Sure. I think the resolution is asking, you could read out first of all the resolution, Bernard, please. It talks about an investigation. Go ahead.
Oui, cette résolution est pour mandater le directeur général de procéder à l'examen du dossier du programme d'investissement pour lequel un entrepreneur n'aura pas été payé et proposer le coefficient des pistes pour un règlement. So this resolution is to mandate the DG to look Réunion region program file for which contractor has not been paid, and if required, the proposals for settlement.
Good. And one other piece of information that came to me today is that in this particular case, yes, the file had been closed, but before it was closed, a request for an extension had been made, and that should have been acknowledged, and it wasn't. And then there was a change of personnel. Go ahead, Mayor Beauregard.
I'd like to add, as a council of mayors, we never get any feedback from this program. It'd be nice to get feedback at least twice a year from this program.
Our report.
Or our director who runs it through our building. We never see her.
Very good. Why don't we propose June and December, every 6 months, twice a year? That'd be good. Thank you. That's a very good suggestion. Okay, so could we have someone move would you like to move the resolution, Mayor Beauregard? Thank you very much. You've had some experience with the SHQ. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. Thank you for your support on that. We'll go ahead and thank you, Monsieur Waugh, for the work that you've done. 24.4, Canadian Nuclear Safety Commission hearing May 31st. Just for information, I had referred to this earlier. If I am planning, and I'm going to actually discuss with you at plenary in April exactly what I would like to say on behalf of MRC Pontiac, and I will vet that with you first. And if you have any suggestions, but I'm being given some good information, and I think it's very important based on two things in particular, that when this disposal site was discussed or decided on location, our MRC Pontiac, which is the closest MRC to the site along the Ottawa River, we were not asked or we didn't have a chance to give any input as to the location. And also the fact that we, a few months ago, moved that the site not be 1 kilometer from the river, but as far away as possible. So we'll talk about it at the, if there's anyone else that would like to also make a deputation, you are welcome. It's open to the public. So just wanted to let everybody know, especially those who are listening. So that's just here for information. I will be reporting to you about the comments I'd like to say at our April plenary. 24.5, reminder of the petition on cellular coverage. We have now had this out for about a month, and it's going to end at the end of March 31st. So please encourage people to sign it. This is requesting or demanding better cellular coverage, or even cellular coverage period, where we have some dead zones in the Pontiac. We know that the high-speed internet is on its way, but our residents are always reminding us, and we know ourselves, we experience it along Highway 148, etc. We need, this is an important petition demanding cellular coverage. And actually Sophie Chattel, our MP, is going to present it at the House of Commons. So she's very excited about being able to do this. We want as many signatures as possible. Anyone want to add anything to what I just said? Okay. 24.6, our final item for information. The Outaouais Region Canadian Red Cross Volunteer Group. My name is here, and so is yours, Bernard.
I could talk about it.
Okay.
We receive, on a reçu une reconnaissance du gouvernement du Québec là, du travail accompli par les bénévoles de la Croix-Rouge lors des inondations de 2019. I don't know why, the reason why we just received this recognition, but anyway, this is a recognition of the government of Quebec of the work and devotion of volunteers of the Red Cross for or after the last flood in 2019. And maybe by extension, volunteers are doing a lot of job and great job, and it's important just to recognize it. And the government of Quebec did that for about the last flood.
Okay, great. Thank you. And you just brought something else to my mind. We recently, I think it was March 11th was the day designated victims of COVID-19. And I think I saw a headline today that the Premier is thinking of a national day that will continue forever, I guess, towards this. Anyways, one last thing I want to mention before we adjourn for the evening, because that was just for information, so thank you, Bernard, is that our Lac-a-Lay Paul that we're hoping to have now that we're able to meet in person, we're still hoping for Saturday morning, May 14th. Please mark your calendars. Let us know if you're going to be able to be present, and we're hoping that it might be from 9 until 1. And the main topic will be waste. How we know right now we're spending $1.7 million a year. It's gone up because of COVID the last 2 years, trucking garbage to Lachute. And we know that even if we take 40% out with our composting, that will be a significant savings. And we're also looking at taking construction waste out. So we're going to be active with this with our waste management committee, but I think to have a good fulsome discussion of waste management at our Lac Hall would be great. And we're also hoping to perhaps tour some facilities of energy from waste after. So unless there's anything else that anyone would like to add to this meeting, could I have a resolution to adjourn the meeting? Moved by Mayor Odette Godin from Waltham. All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you very much, everybody. Not too long.